Dear students, today we start with type 2 nomenclature of Spiro compounds. As you know, in previous lectures, we completed type 1 fused and bridge ring compounds. Today we start with type 2 Spiro compounds. First, we're going to study what is Spiro compounds, what are the rules for nomenclature of Spiro compounds, and after that, we're going to study some examples. So let's start with Spiro compounds. Now, Spiro compounds have one carbon atom common. As you can see here in this example, this carbon atom is common between these two rings. Such type of compounds are called Spiro compounds. So what are the rules? Now we're going to study rules one by one and very slowly. Rule 1 says that a prefix Spiro is followed by square bracket. The number of carbon atoms in each ring is indicated in the bracket in the ascending order, excluding common carbon atom. Now, what we are going to do when Spiro compound example is given? First, we have to write down Spiro. Then we have to write down bracket. In that bracket, we have to write down number of carbon atoms in each ring, means left hand side ring and right hand side ring, correct? In ascending order. Ascending order means 1, 2, 3, means lower first, then higher, then more higher, like that. Excluding common carbon atom means we have we don't count the common carbon atom. Now rule number 2. Now this rule number 2 says that these numbers are separated by dot. So numbers which are present in square bracket, these are separated by dot. After this bracket, write the name of parent alkene corresponding to the total number of carbon atoms. Means after this, we have to count number of carbons in a cyclic ring excluding substituent. Means we have to count only carbon atoms present in that cyclic rings, correct? And if it is 5, then we have to write down pentane, 6 hexane, 7 heptane. If there are 8, then we have to write down octane, nonane and decane, like that, correct? So rule number 3. Rule number 3 says that numbering start from carbon next to Spiro carbon followed by smaller ring. So we have to start numbering from carbon next to Spiro carbon, means the carbon which is directly attached with Spiro carbon, which is followed by smaller ring first. See this example. In this example, which is the Spiro carbon? This is the Spiro carbon. And which are the carbon atoms attached with this Spiro carbon? 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are called carbon next to the Spiro carbon. But right hand side ring is smaller ring. And that's why we have to start numbering from here. Or you can start numbering from here also. Correct? So we have to give numbering from carbon next to the Spiro carbon first, followed by smaller ring, correct? Let's go to second rule. Rule number 4. Now rule number 4 says that if substituents are present, then they should indicate it before the prefix Spiro. Means methyl group is there, then you have to write down methyl, then Spiro, then square bracket, and then parent alkene, correct? Rule number 5 says that the functional group of highest priority is given minimum numbers and it is right as suffix in the name of parent alkene. This rule is same as rule number 5 in fuse and bridge ring compounds. Now, as you know, priority order of function group is like number 1 acidic group, number 2 ester, number 3 acid chloride, number 4 acid amide, number 5 aldehyde, number 6 ketone, number 7 amine, and number 8 halogen, nitro group, alkoxy group, and alkyl group. So you have to remember all this. So you have to remember this is the priority, and therefore you remember the priority order of functional groups. Now we start with some examples. So we start with example number 1. Now first you have to find out which is the spirocarbon. This is the spirocarbon. Spirocarbon means carbon which is common between the two rings. Now in this case, how do you give the numbering? Numbering we have to start from this carbon atom or this carbon atom, anyone. Why? Because right hand side ring is a small ring, and that's why we have to start numbering from carbon which is next to the spirocarbon. So I have to start numbering from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How do you write name of this compound? First we have to write down prefix Spiro followed by square bracket. Now you have to count the number of carbon in a right hand side ring and in a left hand side ring, excluding common carbon atom. This is the common carbon. So how many carbon atoms in a right hand side? 3. How many carbon atoms are in the right hand side? As you can see, 4. Now how do you write this 3 and 4 in bracket in ascending order? That's why I have to write down first 3. Numbers are separated by dot, bracket complete. So Spiro 3.4. After that we have to write down name of the parent alkane. So how many carbon atoms are present in this ring? 8. And that's why we have to write down corresponding alkane which contain 8 carbon is octane. So name of this compound is Spiro 3.4 octane. Example number 2. Now here, where do you start numbering? From, of course, right hand side, because of it is a smaller ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Correct? If you compare these two rings, here I write 5 in see in first example, I write 5 in upper side, but here I write 5 in a lower side. Correct? So you can start from any side, but if substituent is there, then we have to give this numbering in such a way that that substituent present in the ring should get minimum number. So what is the name of this example number 2? Just follow the rules. First we have to write down Spiro followed by square bracket. Don't count this common carbon. Then how many carbon atoms in a right hand side? 3. Left hand side 5. This 3 and 5 we have to write down in a square bracket like 3.5. Now how many carbon atoms are there in this whole ring? 9. And that's why name of this compound is Spiro 3,5-nonane. I hope you understand this example. Now example number 3. Now, student, in this example, there is one substituent. Now, where do I start numbering? Numbering is start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You can start numbering from this carbon also, because our rule says that we have to start numbering from carbon which is next to the spirocarbon, correct? And first followed by smaller ring. So now substituent is there, and this substituent is methyl group which is present at carbon number 2. So it is 2 methyl, then Spiro in a square bracket. How many carbon atoms are in a left hand side and right hand side excluding common carbon atom? 3 and 5. So 3.5. How many carbon atoms in the ring 9? Don't count methyl carbon. If you count that, then name will be wrong. Okay, you just count number of carbon atom in that ring. Correct? So 9, and that's why it is called nonane. So name of this compound is 2-methyl Spiro in square bracket 3.5 nonane. Let's check example number 4. Now in this compound, how do you start numbering? Just follow the rule. First of all, find out the common carbon or spirocarbon. This is the spirocarbon. Rule says that we have to start numbering from carbon next to spirocarbon, first followed by the smaller ring. That's why we have to start numbering from this right hand side ring. One, 2, 3, 4. Now where do I give number 5? At upper side or at lower side? Of course, we have to give number 5 at upper side because substituent should get minimum number. Now this substituent, methyl substituent, should get minimum number. Correct? That's why 5 we have to write at upper side. So what is the name of this compound? It is called Spiro in a square bracket. So what is the name of this compound? First we have to write down methyl group at position number 6. So it is 6 methyl Spiro, correct? Square bracket 3.5. No need to tell you how this 3.5 come, because in previous example we already know this. 3.5 and then nonane. Then what is the name of this compound? 6 methyl Spiro 3.5 nonane. Example number 5. Let's solve this example. Now with this example also we have to start numbering from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. But in this case number 5 at lower side, because we give this numbering in such a way that substituent or the functional group should get minimum number. So name of this compound 6 amino Spiro in square bracket 3.5 nonane. So it is 6 amino Spiro 3.5 nonane. Number 6. Now how to write down name of this compound? Where do I start numbering? So there are 4 carbon atoms where we can start numbering. As you can see 1, 2, I write here 1, this is 2, this is 3 and this is 4. So where do I start numbering? Now in this case we have to start numbering according to rule number 5. There are 2 groups. Which are the 2 groups? Methyl group and amino group. So which has the highest priority? Highest priority given to amino compound, correct? And that's why we have to start numbering from left hand side ring. So you can start from upper side or you can start it from lower side. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So how to write name of this compound? At carbon number 2 amino group is there, at carbon number 6 methyl group is there. We have to mention both, but first we have to mention amino because alphabetically A comes first. So it is 2 amino 6 methyl Spiro in square bracket 3.3 heptane. So name of this compound 2 amino 6 methyl Spiro 3.3 heptane. Okay. Now don't forget one very simple rule. If number and word is there, you have to separate it by dash. Correct? You can see here also. If number and word is there, then you have to separate it by dash. Example number 7. Now here it is very simple. From where to start numbering? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now why we start numbering from left hand side? Because it is a smaller ring. Why from upper side? Because amino group directly attached with it, and that's why we have to start numbering from upper side. And then we go to higher ring, but in higher ring also we have to give numbering in such a way that methoxy group get minimum number. So what is the name of this compound? Name of this compound is 1 amino 6 methoxy Spiro. Now count the number of carbon atoms in a right hand side and left hand side ring except carbon number 4, that is spirocarbon. So don't count that. So it will be 3 and 4. So in bracket I write down 3.4 octane. So name of this compound is 1-amino 6-methoxy spiro 3.4 octane. Example number 8. Now in this example, two COH groups are there, but both are in a different ring. Where do I start numbering? Of course from here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Correct? But see how to write down name of this compound. First we have to write down Spiro. Because if carboxylic acid group is there, then we have to mention it in a last. So Spiro 2.4. So if you exclude this carbon atom and count the number of carbons in the right hand side and left hand side ring, it will be 2 and 4. Then we have to write down heptane, complete heptane, because 7 carbon atoms are there. Then add carbon number 1 and carbon number 5 attached with carboxylic acid group. Now this carboxylic acid group, how many are there? 2. That's why we have to write down di, because 2 are there. Di carboxylic acid. So name of this compound is Spiro 2.4 heptane 2,5. So name of this compound Spiro 2,4 heptane 1,5 dicarboxylic acid. Example number 9. Now what is the name of this compound? We have to write down name Spiro in square bracket. How many carbon atoms are in a right hand side and left hand side ring except this carbon atom? 4, 4. That's why I write here 4.4. Correct? Before that, we have to give numbering. Now give numbering in such a way that this C double bond O groups contain minimum number. So you can start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Correct? So it is nonane. Correct? But C double bond O group is called ketone. So I write here nona 1,6-dione. Why it is dione? Because di means 2, 1 means ketonic group. So it is called Spiro 4.4 nona 1,6-dione. Example number 10. Now here double bond is there, correct? And this double bond should get minimum number. So we have to start numbering from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now double bond is there and 9 carbon atoms are there. That's why it is nonene. So I write here first Spiro in square bracket 4.4 nonene. But this nonene does not indicate where this double bond is. So this is at carbon number 2. That's why we have to write down name known 2 in. Example number 11. Now which is the smaller ring? Right hand side, which also contain double bond. And that's why we have to start numbering from here. So what is the name of this compound? It is called Spiro. In bracket, we have to write down number of carbon atoms in a left hand side and in the right hand side except spirocarbon. So how many carbon atoms? 4 and 5. So Spiro 4.5 deca 1,6 diene. So name of this compound is Spiro 4,5 deca 1,6 diene. Why it is 1,6? Because at carbon number 1 and carbon number 6 double bond is start. So here we completed examples of Spiro compounds.